Good morning, cats and kittens, pups and pooches. It's Susie Q96, and this is the inaugural episode of the Deadbeat Club, where you can just hang out, not do anything, talk about nothing, do all those mundane chores that you normally would not broadcast live. And today's unexciting episode is called Susie Looks for the 82s and not the B-52s. And the reason for that is there's a bunch of 82s mixed in my copper hopper. And I need to find out if they are in fact copper or not. In order to do that, I got to go through every one of these freaking pennies and sort out all the 82s. I was keeping the copper, but I've decided I need to cash it in. So that's what's going to happen after I pull the 82s. So if you want to hang out and do nothing with me, that's fine. Uh, hey, Homestead. Good morning. Yeah, may stop and play a couple of games here in a little bit and qualify a couple people for my June gift away. But I have discovered my microscope really doesn't work very well with the software that came with it, but it does work pretty well under StreamYard. So I figure if I've got to fire StreamYard up, I might as well let it run. Morning, Mike. Might as well let it run and maybe get some watch hours and likes out of it. I'm still recovering from my Florida adventure, and a little disappointed that I didn't get to detect with anybody other than the person I went down there with. Had a couple people lined up. One of them ended up getting COVID, and the other one had an illness in their family. And the rest of the people I just couldn't get a hold of. So, other than my wonderful friend Dawn, the metal detective, who actually footed a good portion of the finances for the trip, which I am eternally grateful for because I had not seen my brother in quite a while, and that was the primary purpose. And also, Muscle Shell had given me money a couple of years ago to go see my brother, and then everything got locked down because of COVID. So I used that money, and Dawn helped foot the gas bill, and I was finally able to visit my wonderful brother. But I didn't get to detect as I had hoped. Actually, I didn't find much of anything in Florida. Dirt and worms, as I told somebody yesterday. Maybe 30 cents in clad and a pulley and some nails and a lot of Corona beer lids. So apparently they want to nurse that Corona down there. I really didn't find a whole lot. An earring, which I'm pretty sure is nothing. I haven't actually tested it yet, but I don't see any marks on it. So, not much. So, and it's funny, I don't ever seem to find a whole lot in Florida. Last time I went, I didn't find anything that's super great either. Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to go this afternoon, but my stomach's acting up a little bit, so I may hold off on that and instead go down to the car wash and try to. I still got to clean up all the mud covered stuff from when I did the flea market before I went to Florida. including my car. Everything that I had down there was covered with mud. And I need to give my detector a better cleaning than I gave it in Florida, because I want to make sure I have all the sand and salt out of my bags, out of my detector. I got to take my coil covers off, make sure everything is free of salt water, even though I did hose them off down there. I didn't give them the proper cleaning. I didn't take the coil covers off and stuff. So I think I'm just going to haul everything to the car wash, clean the flea market stuff, clean the detecting stuff, and get some car wash quarters, of course, for my coin show. But yeah, I have this massive bag here, and when of copper, things that are marked copper. But when I first started doing it, I used to throw all the 82s in, whether I knew for sure they were copper or not. And now I want to get those out of there. And then, as much as I would like to hold on to all this copper, I really don't have room for it. So once I pull those out, it's going to go back to the bank, and someone else can save it up. I am keeping all the 60s pennies, and there should not be any Wheaties in here. They should have all been in a separate container, but I've already pulled a number of 82s out, and then I will go through them and sort the zincs out and look for the different varieties and so forth. So there's an 82. I knew there was some in here. But yeah, my goal for this week is to put my house and my YouTube area back in some semblance of order, so I could start editing videos again and hopefully try to get my channel back in a little bit better shape and work on my eBay store. So I'm just going to be kind of concentrating on this one corner of my world, trying to make some sense out of nonsense. And I don't feel like watching anybody's live stream this morning. I saw an 89 go in there that wasn't copper. Oh well, since it's going back to the bank, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, sometimes coins got thrown in the copper that didn't belong there. So I'm going to take care of that. Trying to get stuff organized for my end of June giveaways. I signed up the first 10 possible winners yesterday. I'll be, before the date of the giveaway, we will have 100 people who are qualified to have a chance to win either a coin collecting prize or a metal detecting prize. And that's one of the reasons I'm taking all these pennies back, is I want to be able to get a little better prizes. And I don't really know what I've got here. I don't have room to spread things out. My apartment is so tiny that only 2 of the 7 dwarfs could live here. I don't know, they think when we get older, we shrink. So they just stick us in smaller apartments. And I have little room in here. I'm working also towards my move, which I had hoped would be happening in August, but I have not moved on the apartment waiting list at all in Michigan. Nobody is moving out of the low-income senior housing, at least not fast enough. So I may be stuck here in Virginia for a while. So while I am, I may have to make a couple trips to Michigan for medical treatments. So I'm going to be selling off a lot of stuff and getting rid of a lot of stuff so that I can do that, because my vehicle is not going to make those kind of trips. It just won't. So I'm not sure how I'm going to manage to make that happen. But I know one thing for sure, it's going to cost money, 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 money. Here's another 82. So this is, I'm just going to do this till my arm gets tired. Then I'll go work on something else for a while. And then I'll come back to this. But there's another 82. I've already rolled up about $20 in pennies yesterday. And I don't know how much is sitting here in this giant Ziploc, but I can barely lift the bag, so there's a lot. There's a bunch. And everything must go. Like I said, I'm putting the 50s and 60s in a separate, the 59s forward. Everything else is going in one except the 82s. I have a bucket for them. Somewhere's another 82. Somewhere I wrote down how much this bag of copper, or alleged copper, weighed. It was quite a bit. I've forgotten now. But it's from several box searches. And I'm going to try to get us another box. The last two. Hey, James. The last two boxes both had Indian heads in them, so that was good. So, yeah, I just want to, like I said, I thought about holding on to all this copper, and then I said, nah, I'm really not in a position to do that. So I'm going to go back through it quickly, pick out the 82s, the 60s, anything else I see that jumps out at me that might have gotten thrown in by mistake. Roll the rest of it up, take it back down to Wells Fargo. They can deal with it. Because I need the money. I spent more than I really should have for that trip. I spent all the money that I had put aside for the trip, plus all the money I made at the flea market. So but that was why I did that big flea market, was so that I would be able to afford to do that trip and to just get rid of things I don't want to take with me when I go. So, but I got to regroup my finances here. And I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the month when I go see the new specialist about the new diagnosis. And it could be that I end up getting laid up again. I'm hoping not, but since I know that's an inevitable possibility, I'm just gonna try to gather up the money and figure out a way to make it work for me. Yeah, this bag of pennies is huge. I can barely pick it up. So I need to put some of it back into circulation. I would guess a lot of people are hoarding the coppers. And I tried, but I can't really afford to do it. There's another 82. There's another 82. So, like I said, I may try to go out detecting later. I've got to check on something. I think there was some kind of music festival down at one of our parks this week, a gospel festival. And I think that ends this afternoon. And if I am correct, I want to run down there for a little bit and see if anybody deposited anything for me. Morning, Sandy Johnson. Did you get your package? Yeah. Another 82. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go down to the park or not, but I probably will for a little bit. Go by the car wash. I've got a rug, a plastic mat that used to be in my RV. It's in the back of my car in its carry bag, and it is covered in dirt and mud. And I need to take that down to the car wash and hose it out before it's ruined. It probably is already ruined. But I got to clean that. And I got to clean my detector, make sure all the salt water's off of it. So I may do all those things later on. But right now I'm just trying to sort this container out and fish out the 82s. I need to check them for different things. And I'm fishing out the 60s. And then I'm going to roll all these up. My sister-in-law gave me a huge box of coin rollers when I was in Florida. So that was a contribution to the cause. And if anybody has any use for all this copper and wants to pay for the postage and the value of it, I'm going to start rolling it up tonight. So let me know. Because otherwise it's headed to the bank. I've been beach hunting before, and I don't have the body strength anymore to do it. That's kind of why I didn't like the beach hunting. It really made me hurt, and truthfully, I didn't find anything that awesome. The beaches we were at are pretty well picked. And Since I had that pulmonary embolism, I don't have the body strength that it takes to walk for any decent amount of time in the dry sand, and we just weren't finding anything in the wet sand. I was with Dawn, the metal detective, and neither of us found a whole lot of anything on the beach. We wanted to go do some dirt detecting, but the county we were staying in does not allow you to detect in their parks, and we would have had to drive over an hour to get to where we could do any park detecting. So we ended up not going. Now, she did go while I was visiting my brother. She went out with Swamp Rat Nation, and he premiered that video last night. But I was not with them. I was visiting my brother that I have not seen for several years. So, but yeah, I'm almost 70 years old, and it was just a bit much for me strength-wise. I did find an earring that I have to look at later. It doesn't have any rust or anything on it, but it also doesn't have any markings on it. I don't think it's anything but a bling. But I do have to double check it. That was about my best find, and of course a little bit of clad money. I went to 2 different beaches. The second one was a complete bust. And that's funny because when I was down there 3 years ago, I did really well at Indian Rocks Beach. This time I found a dime and a cigarette lighter and I think a screw. Not much. And I was out there for over an hour. There just wasn't much in the way of signals. Like I said, I think those beaches get pretty hammered. So, yeah, I think I'm more of a dirt digger. Just simply because the terrain, I can judge a flatter terrain a lot better. There were a lot of holes in the beach where kids had been digging, and I had to be very, very careful not to fall. And the heat was brutal. Oh my gosh. And I grew up in Florida in a house with no air conditioning, but I'm older now, and if I were in a cooler climate like Northern California, maybe it would be different. But yeah, it was over 100 degrees out there and very uneven terrain, and it was just a little harder on my body than I'm willing to invest for the purpose. There's an 82 for the purpose of detecting, and I don't want to hurt myself. The idea is to go out there and have fun, and after about 45 minutes it wasn't fun anymore. So, but seeing my brother that was really the primary purpose of the trip, was to see my brother. I have not seen him since pre-COVID days. So that was the deal. And he is my older brother and has a lot of the same health issues that I do. So I felt it was important that I see him face to face, because I don't know when I might ever have that opportunity in the future. So that was the real purpose of the thing. And thanks very much to Muscle Shell and Dawn, the metal detective. They made that happen for me. And It was awesome. So it doesn't matter whether I found anything detecting or not. I got to see my bro. That was good. And of course, the first day we were there was a tropical depression going through. So I got to see Florida as it was when I was growing up there. Some things never change. I'm going to do a few more of these and then my arm gets tired and I have to quit. But I'm probably come back on later and do some more. Got this whole big bag I got to try and take care of. I probably won't get it all done by tomorrow, but I'll get as many of them rolled up as I can. There's a lot of pennies here. A lot of pennies. Yeah, I think after this stack right here, I'm probably going to quit for a while. Yeah, I get tired easy. Old age setting in. Old age is setting in. Yeah, like I said, I may want to go down. I got to check and see if that music thing was this past weekend. I think it was. And if it was, I want to go down there and detect for a little bit, see if anybody left me any souvenirs of their concert experience. But I don't want to go right now. I think the thing's still going on, or people are trying to get out of there. So I'm not sure. I've never been to it. It's a, I believe, gospel music event, and they haven't had it the last couple of years due to COVID. So I'm not really sure of when it ends. But I did have a message last night from one of my detecting buddies here wanting to know if I was back. So I think he may be thinking about going down there later as well. I'm going to have to look up the info and also make sure that my stuff is ready to go in case that's part of the plan. So I think I'll do one more handful. There's an 82. There's a 60s. 2007. That's interesting. Why is he in there? I knew some non-coppers were in there. It doesn't really matter now because I've decided I'm not going to hold the copper. I don't know what to do with it. So, people that can hold on to it for a couple of years until they quit making pennies, that's one thing, but I don't think I'm really into doing that. I don't think I'm going to make that much money off of it. So it's just not worth it to me to take up my space that way. And like I said, I just want to pull the 82s out so I can look at those. There's a lot of reasons to be looking at those. So I would rather cash these in and get another box. Hi, Easy Coins. Nobody is here. Nobody's ever here, James. That's why I called it the Deadbeat Club this morning. My channel's pretty much dead ever since I got sick. And ever since those troll people went after me and started telling all kinds of crap about me that wasn't true. So I just do it for my own amusement, and I'm happy for my regulars that come in. But I have little hope that I'm ever going to get it back the way it was. It's okay though. I'm not doing it by other people's rules. I've never followed other people's rules. Uh, I just don't. I do things my own way. And there are some folks that like it. Okay, let's do these last 6. And then I think I need to eat lunch. Oh, it's only 10. Yeah, but I've been up since 5. So, see, I don't even do that by regular rules. For those of you who don't know what the Deadbeat Club is, the Deadbeat Club was a song by a band called the B-52s. And they just talk about hanging out, not doing anything. And in the song Deadbeat Club, they mentioned going down to this place called Allen's Bar and putting quarters in the jukebox, listening to 96 Tears real loud. Well, 96 Tears happens to be the #1 hit record by a band I work for. Question mark in the mysterious. I'm sorry, I am not supposed to say I work for them. I am supposed to say I work with them. I have been corrected countless times by Q for saying I work for them. He said, you do not work for us, you work with us. So, anyway, the Deadbeat Club in the song is just a bunch of people that hang out doing nothing all day, listening to music and that kind of stuff, and that's me. So, it's the Deadbeat Club. All right, well, I found a few more 82s. Made a little more dent in my ginormous bag of supposedly copper pennies. So I'm gonna go, and I'll be back later on today and sign up some more people for the June giveaway. And I'll see everybody later on. Y'all get out and do some detecting or sort through some coins or just have a generally good day. And we'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Hit the like button on the way out. Thanks.